Tonight, Iman Shumpert and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets hit the road for the first time this season. And a hostile environment awaits as Tech motors up I-75 from their campus to Kennesaw State. It's the Yellow Jackets and the Owls right now. We welcome you to the Convocation Center on the campus of Kennesaw State University in Kennesaw, Georgia, for tonight's ACC College Hoops game between the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech and the Owls of Kennesaw State. A very pleasant good evening, everybody. Bob Rathman, Larry Conley, great to have you with us tonight. And for all that this school, Larry's accomplished academically and athletically, this game tonight's the biggest thing that's hit this campus.
And this campus has been on fire all weekend. They have waited for this game. It is so big for them to have Georgia Tech to come in here and play.
And they've got a quality player in Markeith Cummings. And if he can get it going tonight, the Owls will give Georgia Tech all they want.
This is going to be a real problem for Georgia Tech guarding this young man down inside. He's about 6'7". He's about 230 pounds. He had 24 in their win the other night on Friday. He is a very strong presence and has not yet found a shot he didn't like.
And a very different looking Georgia Tech squad. No Gani Lawal, no Derek Favors inside, so it's the perimeter game. And in junior Iman Shumpert, a guy who's been battle tested on the road.
Yeah, and Shumpert is among a good group of really good perimeter players that Paul Hewitt is going to put on display this year. He has got to be able to shoot the outside shot well, as do the other players on this Georgia Tech squad. His real strength, though, is his defense. I think he's really good on the defensive end.
And a very good defensive team, it appears, at Georgia Tech this season. When we come back, we'll meet tonight's starting lineups. It's the Jackets against the Owls. Back with more of our coverage from Kennesaw, Georgia, right after this. We are back at Kennesaw State. Let's meet the food line. Starting lineups tonight for Georgia Tech. 4 holdovers: Oliver, Rice, Shumpert, and Udofia. New man in the middle, Daniel Miller.
Yeah, Bob, I think to be the key to this basketball team this year is the play of the inside work of Daniel Miller. They're so small outside of him in this starting lineup. Those 4 other guys, though, very experienced perimeter players.
And for the Owls of Kennesaw State, Ladarius Green, Aaron Anderson, Andrew Osherman, a freshman, making his second collegiate appearance. Markeith Cummings, you talked about, and Spencer Dixon.
Yeah, Cummings very strong on the inside. Keep an eye on Aaron Anderson, the junior college transfer here from Arizona. He has been terrific. Played really well Friday night and really good in practice.
A big crowd. The stage is set. The ACC comes to Kennesaw State. Tech and Kennesaw right after this. Standing room only here at Kennesaw as we check out the 4 keys to the game.
And here are the keys to the game for both of these clubs here at Kennesaw State. Georgia Tech first. Strong defensive effort, much like they had on Friday night against Charleston Southern when they forced 29 turnovers. They need to stay focused. Paul Hewitt kind of indicated to us before the game that his club lost a little focus in the second half the other night. For Kennesaw State, Cummings and Anderson have to score really, really big. And they have to use this crowd. I mean, this is the largest crowd they've ever had in the history of the school for a basketball game, and they need to use this. Get some runs, get them involved, get them excited, get them standing up, waving flags, hats, whatever it is you got to wave it tonight if you're a Kennesaw State fan.
And the officials tonight, J.B. Caldwell, Mike Nance, and Fred Williams. And ready for hoop at Kennesaw with the Jackets in town. And the moment they've been waiting for since this game came on the schedule. And the opening tip to the visitors. Shumpert gets Tech into its first set. Miller screens. Shumpert drives in, stepped out of bounds. Kennesaw ball.
You know, Bob, it's one of the problems that Shumpert had all last season. I mean, he had a number of assists. In fact, passed the ball extremely well, but he turned it over a lot, too. Had almost as many turnovers as he did assists.
Spencer Dixon, the point man.
Good screen by Cummings that time to help Dixon get free.
Osman fights to get it back. Shot clock at 18.
Paul Hewitt was hoping for another good defensive effort here tonight like he had Friday night.
Dixon gets in, and it's a tie and a held ball. The arrow goes to Kennesaw.
It's interesting visiting with Paul before the game. You and I were sitting over there for a couple of minutes, and he was talking about their effort the other night. He was really pleased with the defensive work that they put out. He got a little disappointed, though, in the loss of focus they had in that second half.
Shot clock at 3, and Green connects on a 3. Rice penetrating. And Kennesaw comes up with the basketball. Dixon in transition. Inside, Anderson, 5-0.
Dixon had 9 assists in their game Friday night. He just got another one right there to Anderson, who positioned well inside.
2 trips for Tech, 2 turnovers. Here's Udofia, and it is out of bounds to Georgia Tech. Students screaming. There's Tony Ingle, the head coach at Kennesaw State, his 11th season. Division II National Championship. It's an air ball from Shumpert. Dixon drives. The layup is good. Cummings scores. 7-0.
Give Dixon another assist.
Shumpert measures a 3. That's no good. And the rebound to Green.
What a start for Kennesaw State.
This is just what the Owls wanted. A 7-0 lead for the home team. And this crowd is screaming. Here's Dixon. Back up floater. And the rebound to Oliver. A driving Brian Oliver. Can't connect. Anderson clears.
Anderson with his second rebound.
Kennesaw won its opener on Friday night. Kennesaw's hit 3 out of 4. Make it 3 out of 5, just off the mark. Dixon, and a foul inside, and Rice comes down hurting. Glenn gets to his feet. He and Aaron Anderson tangled up.
Take a look at it down underneath again. Looks like Anderson may have undercut him.
And a 30-second timeout has been taken by Georgia Tech.
Well, Bob, if you're Tony Ingle, you couldn't have drawn it up any better for Kennesaw State to get started like this. They got the crowd involved in the game, and they jumped off here quickly. Georgia Tech once again struggling with their shooting, much like they did on Friday night.
Georgia Tech, to say they struggled at home would be an understatement. 29% from the field in that Charleston Southern game. They start this one 0 for 3, and having to not only come on the road to a very hostile environment here, they're looking to get rolling with this new chemistry and this new group of players. Even though these are the holdovers, they struggled mightily, particularly Shumpert, 2 for 14.
Well, I also think it hurts when you don't have a Favors and a wall down inside to look to. I mean, that really takes a lot of pressure off your perimeter when you got guys inside that are making baskets. Now, the pressure is totally on them to be able to make those baskets on the outside. Paul Hewitt indicating to us that he has visited with a lot of coaches across the country in the change of this offense because of those big guys being gone.
7-0. There was no foul called on that play where Rice and Anderson got tangled up. It's just out of bounds to Georgia Tech. Shumpert.
It's like Kennesaw State in the man-to-man defense, but they're really sloughing off except on the ball.
Inside, Oliver off the side of the glass. Shot clock at 8. This one banks in.
Oh, that's a terrific effort by Oliver, wasn't it? He got his shot rejected the first time up, then he went right back the second time and got it. Udofia with good pressure out there, and I think that's what you have to do against McConnell off the bench.
Kelvin coming in. He's a senior from Smyrna, Georgia. Cummings. Guarded by Rice. Cummings had 24 in the opener.
Tech's turned that pressure up a notch.
And a near steal by Shumpert. Here's Cummings, lost his balance and throws it away. You made the comment, Larry, when we were talking with Coach Hewitt about his defense and how that can be a strength of this ball club to keep them in each and every game.
Well, I told him, I said, you know, if you struggle shooting, you've got to find some way to make up for that, and they will. Boy, good move by Miller to the basket.
And a beautiful bounce pass to set up the dunk at 7-4.
The pass was made by Brian Oliver out there right at the top of the circle. Pressure once again by Georgia Tech.
Ladarius Green out of Savannah at Beach High School. Here's McConnell's deflected. Anderson couldn't grab it. Last touched by Rice. And with that, a timeout. Daniel Miller, 6'11", redshirt freshman, in the books with a dunk. 7-4 Kennesaw. Kennesaw State leads Georgia Tech 7-4. Beautiful play here a moment ago by the Yellow Jackets.
It was, and indeed, when you're getting a lot of pressure, make sure you got a good release. Brian Oliver right there receiving the basketball. Now watch him look down inside. There's his target underneath. From the free throw line, the bounce pass to Daniel Miller. He's wide open to receive it, gets in good position, and throws it down. That's what you do when you get pressure. You find the open man. That was a nice play that time by Oliver to Miller.
It's one thing to beat the pressure. It's another to keep in attack mode and go to the hole.
That's one thing that I think Paul Hewitt wants out of Miller, a little more aggression. Tell you what, if he gets shots like that, he should be a lot aggressive.
Here's Osman. That's blocked by Miller. He had 7 in the opener. Tech running with Shumpert. Lob broken up, and it's out of bounds to Georgia Tech.
Did you see that play by Cummings?
Did he get up in the air?
It was a lob pass, and he went up and got it. Look at this, a lob pass, and he went up, knocked it out of bounds.
And nearly got it off Rice's back. But it will be Georgia Tech ball. Oliver out of the corner. Good block out that time by Osman. Kennesaw running. Nice bounce pass, and the lay-in is good. At the basket, and a foul. Green gets the bucket, and a foul shot to come, and a lot of contact as Ladarius is slow to get his feet.
That was in the second and third gear for Dixon right there. Watch him look left. Boy, that is terrific. The timing on the pass is perfect. He lays it out in front of him, and he just picks it up and lays it in. Another assist for Spencer Dixon.
That will send Green to the line. Oliver the push from behind, and he's still a little woozy. And now the referees, J.B. Caldwell, Fred Williams, come to the table. And they are going to go to the monitor here with 15:29 to go in the first half. They want to take another look at this play. You see the push by Oliver.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew who to call that foul on. There were two guys right there. It was Oliver who got him in the back.
Boy, Green really took a hard foul that time.
They never come to ask us, do they?
We have all the answers. Green is a redshirt sophomore out of Beach High School in Savannah, Georgia. 8 points opening night, looking for his 6th as they go to the line here in the first half. And Kennesaw State has a 10-4 lead. Udofia now to the wing, and Rice. Udofia driving. Again, contact and a blocking foul on Kennesaw. This one will be on Dixon.
Udofia with a nice break to the basket on the baseline that time. He thought he found an opening. It was just a small one, and he kind of tiptoed along that baseline and drew the foul.
Mufan Udofia, the sophomore from Stone Mountain, had 12 points on opening night and sinks the free throw for his first point of this game. The southpaw, started the first 25 a year ago for Paul Hewitt. Then came off the bench down the stretch when Georgia Tech made that great run to the ACC Tournament Championship game, and then, of course, on to the NCAA.
Well, they took Duke right to the wire in that game last year.
Cummings. Dixon looks for him. Cummings establishes on the left block. Wiggles his way inside and scores.
That's a mismatch for Rice. He cannot handle Cummings down inside.
Pass taken away. Intended for Holsey. Green. Rice. And snatching the rebound out of there is Anderson. He's got a nose for the basketball.
He's got a good all-around game.
12-5, Kennesaw. I think Tony Ingle likes that matchup inside with Cummings and Rice. They're going to try to get into basketball on the block one more time. Nope, it's going to be a shot from Dixon and a three.
Not known for his outside shooting. That was a timely make.
Just 1 for 6 in the opener. And it's 15-5 and a loose ball. Miller inside, and Udofia scores off the window.
How about that pass by Miller? Nice look.
Mo Miller, the senior from Memphis. 15-7, Kennesaw. Dixon lost control, and it's a charge. Miller stood his ground, and Spencer Dixon has his second personal.
I got to tell you, Spencer Dixon knows only one gear, and it's 100 miles an hour. You know, at some point, you got to be able to thread your way through and around defenses and not run over the top of them. It's probably what Tony Ingle, a former guard at Dalton, Georgia, is probably telling him right now.
Dixon out and McConnell in at the point. Tony, former D2 National Coach of the Year when this school won the Division II championship in 2004, and the next year made the jump to Division I. Here is Jason Morris feeding Oliver.
Nice passing.
Miller trying to create some space on the baseline, but ran out of room. Second time that Tech has stepped out of bounds on a baseline drive.
Tech with a number of turnovers so far, 4.
I'm impressed with the poise of Kennesaw State. You might think, well, the road team in a hostile environment has to show the poise, but these Kennesaw State players are so jacked up for this game. This crowd's in a frenzy, and we've got a charge here on Shabic, his first.
Well, that's the second possession in a row now. They had 2 player control fouls where they ran over the defensive player. You got to take better care of the basketball, but I think a lot of this is because Georgia Tech has turned up their defense, put a lot more pressure on the ball.
Oliver, side saddle, hits it.
Kennesaw State's gone to a zone. They were in a 2-3 zone that time, and Oliver found a gap.
Second bucket for Brian Oliver makes it 15-9 Kennesaw. Kennesaw works the perimeter. Now inside, intended for Cummings. And again, Tech breaks it up. And a reach-in foul on Green. Kennesaw State sort of betwixt and between. They're having a hard time penetrating from the perimeter. But they're also, once they get inside, finding the Tech defense collapsing.
Tech's doing a very good job. They've made a major adjustment in there. And I credit Paul Hewitt with some good coaching there. They were having difficulty guarding the man one-on-one with the ball, but now they're getting the good offside help.
That foul should be charged to Osman, his first. 15-9 Owls. Cam Holsey. Out front to Shumpert. An open look for Mo Miller. Kennesaw rebounding. Here's Cummings. Nice pass. And a better defensive play by Tech and Jason Morris. Perfectly timed.
How about the freshman? We have had two great-looking defensive plays in this first half. Look at the freshman come across and get that one out of Green's hands. Tech showing us a little defense right now.
Kennesaw State leading Georgia Tech 15-9, and time for our Southeast Toyota trivia question. And we come out of the gate with a tough one. Here you look at Chris Singleton of Florida State, who has been remarkable coming out of that forward slot with all the steals and the great defense at Florida State. And you see the stat line against UNC Greensboro yesterday, the triple-double against UNCG at the Coliseum. Just an outstanding effort. And our question is, who was the last Division I player before Chris to have a triple-double involving steals? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, yeah, right. If it is. Oh, my gosh. That's
and
tough.
I took this gig. They told me there'd be no math. I can't count that high. Triple-double with steals. What to think about that one?
You can think all you want. Tech's gone to a zone. It's like a 2-3 matchup. Kennesaw State making the adjustment, changing their offense.
McConnell.
That's a good offense. That's the best offense I know for a zone. Just shoot it and make it.
18-9 Kennesaw. Shumpert off the screen.
Oh, that's nice. Bob, that's what they need from him this year. He's got to be able to make that shot.
Got a whistle and a foul against Mo Miller.
Georgia Tech foul number 3, Mo Miller, his first.
Little fake pass right there and just lets it go. He's about 23 feet out there.
Good pressure by the Jackets. Near violation on the throw-in. And now a travel, yes.
Yeah. Good pressure again by Georgia Tech. You're right, Bob. They came after them.
In for Georgia Tech, number 11.
Olsen goes out. Oliver comes back in. Shumpert only 5 points in that opening win against Charleston Southern on Friday. His leadership crucial. Tip controlled by Kennesaw State after the Morris miss. 11-10 to play first half, and Kennesaw leading by 7. And this one's out of bounds. Again, wing pressure from the freshman Morris creates yet another Kennesaw turnover.
Two good defensive plays by Morris. One to end it before we went to the commercial break, and that particular play right there. Freshman looks good on the defensive end.
6 total turnovers now for Kennesaw State. Shumpert driving and foul.
You know, Bob, to follow up in a little more conversation about Shumpert, the fact that he made that jump shot a few moments ago and again showed us a little bit of the diversity in his offense with that drive to the basket. It's a young man that has an awful lot of talent, a lot of ability. If you're looking for somebody to lead this club, I think you may want to just put the crown on his head. He's the guy that has to do it.
You see his numbers in the opening game. Finished his season on a hot streak. All tournament team in the ACC. Changes here for Kennesaw as Anderson and Dixon come back in. Dixon playing with 2 fouls, and we've not yet reached the halfway mark of the first half. Shumpert, a tri-captain on this ball club, with his second free throw to make it 18-13. We're coming to you from the Kennesaw State Convocation Center. Building seats 4,800, and it's standing room only tonight. Cummings has scored 4. They need a big night from him. Turnaround, Green. Shumpert trying to create space and carries it.
In for
Rice and Udofia come back.
One of the things that I have noticed when Kennesaw State is on offense on this end down here, the last 4 or 5 possessions, Georgia Tech has begun to push Kennesaw State in their offense further out on the floor. And it's made it very difficult for them to get the ball down inside and also to move the ball around the perimeter. Their defense has really stepped up.
Dixon. Another bomb from McConnell.
The best answer to a defense, just stand at 25 feet and make threes.
Rice for 3, in and out. And the rebound to Anderson.
Boy, McConnell with 2 bombs.
Dixon, the head fake, great penetration. Wave it off, and we've got a foul here at the line, and that's going to be against Georgia Tech. It's on Shumpert for a hold.
Take a look at McConnell again. This is the second of 2 threes he's made in this first half, and both of them from way beyond that 3-point arc.
True to his number, Kelvin McConnell with the 3-pointer to make it 21-13. Controlled by Cummings.
Good trap down there by Georgia Tech.
McConnell, how about 3? Followed by Anderson.
Boy, he gets on that glass, doesn't he?
Real nose for the ball. 6'7", 215. Transferred here from Central Arizona Community College. A 23-13 lead for Kennesaw State. Miller out of bounds.
Georgia Tech continues the full court pressure man-to-man on Kennesaw State. They've been able to get some turnovers off of this, and they should stay with it. Dixon was out of the lineup, and they got another one. Nope, they're going to get it back.
Shot clock will be adjusted to 34 seconds since there was no change of possession. And Aaron Anderson is the trigger man for the Owls, representing the Atlantic Sun. Here's Dixon. Bounce to Cummings. Up top, McConnell, 3. No good. Tip, no. And out it comes to Udofia. Rice sets his feet, lets it fly. Long run out, rebound. A man ahead is Dixon.
Not getting back on defense.
And Coach Hewitt, I'm sure, will discuss the quickness of that last shot.
Not only the quickness of it, it was one of those shots when you got 2 guys hanging on you. You don't let it go, but give Kennesaw State credit. They got that ball out in a hurry. Watch Dixon with the finish right here. Rice trying to get back and knock it down. He couldn't do it. Dixon with a good run out.
It's our Wendy's fast break play of the game.
Spencer Dixon with that beautiful run out, and the guy that gave it to him was McConnell. Why not? McConnell's been on the receiving end of a couple of passes by Dixon to allow him to get some threes.
And what a story by Kelvin McConnell that he's off it here at Kennesaw. He came to the program as a walk-on, and he leaves as a scholarship player and a captain on this ball club.
And Bobby played in all 33 games last year. It really is a good story. You know, oftentimes we get so many collegiate players who walk on, and they're deserving of scholarships, but the schools just don't have enough scholarships to give out. So this time they had one, and Tony Ingle made the decision to give him one. Because Tony probably had a barb or 2 to hand his way before he gave him the scholarship. I'm going to tell you what, folks, Bob and I have known Tony Ingle for a number of years, and if there's a funnier man anywhere in the coaching ranks, I've got to meet him. He's a little cross between Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy.
And he can coach basketball,
He's a darn good basketball coach, you bet.
25-13, Kennesaw State. Here's Shumpert. Inside, loose. Tech in possession. Iman Shumpert. Defended by Dixon. And carries it again.
I'm wondering if we're going to see that this year. You know, the point of emphasis in carrying the basketball was pretty strong last year at the college ranks. We're going to see that again this year.
And it goes off Dixon, out of bounds. And again, as Georgia Tech extends that pressure, they are creating turnover after turnover.
Kennesaw State having some success once they get beyond the half-court line, but they're having difficulty just getting it past that mid-court.
7 turnovers each way in this first half, and the Owls lead it 25-13.
You know, one of the things, Bob, you get wrapped up in this early in the season is when you're playing in November, the middle of November, you don't have a chance to work a lot on everything involved in the game of basketball. One of them, I think, is pressure, full court pressure. I mean, a lot of coaches take time to teach their offense and their defenses, but you get into the specialty areas like handling full court pressure, and sometimes it's a little bit later in the October-November period that they really get into working on that. And I think right now, Kennesaw State's struggling with that. Georgia Tech has done a good job.
And of course, the practice time is all managed and mandated. You only have about 20 practices before you hit the floor for your first game. Here is a look again at Kelvin Mcconnell. He's done a little bit of everything here tonight. Georgia Tech with a basketball now, and 8:25 to play in this first half. 29% on 5 of 17. Kennesaw 53%. Oliver.
Nice.
Number 11,
Ryan Oliver.
You know, the 2 best three-point shooters they've got on this Tech squad are Oliver and Shumpert. But they've both made nice mid-range jumpers tonight. I mean, taking the ball down very quickly on the elbow or right at the free throw line and getting it up and quickly getting it in.
Anderson's the high post.
One-4 set for Kennesaw State.
Cummings with 3. Cummings. Anderson keeps it alive and saves it.
What an effort.
Has it in the corner.
You see how far he came to get that ball?
Here's McConnell. Miller, another lob. Shumpert came down with it. Now inside, here's Morris turning, missing. Miller the follow, no good, and a foul on Kennesaw. And this one will be on Iman. If it is, it's his 3rd. And a timeout with 7:05 to go in the first half. Kennesaw State 25, Georgia Tech 15. 7:05 to go in the first half here at Kennesaw State and the Convocation Center. Students lined up for hours outside the building to get in and get those primo seats on the first row. And they have enjoyed themselves thoroughly here in the first half. The home team's up by 10. Daniel Miller to the free throw line. On the bench for Kennesaw is Andrew Osman, 3 fouls, so he'll have a seat for the rest of the half.
It's interesting, Paul Hewitt talking to us about Daniel Miller before the game today, and about how he asked to be redshirted. And that red shirt really helped him because he was able to put on some weight, and he really matured playing against, you know, some bigger, stronger guys last year, particularly Donnie Lawal down inside.
They just got him back early part of November. He missed 3 weeks with a viral infection. Cummings.
Well, they are doubling and tripling.
Yeah, they know where he is, don't they? Shot clock's at 8. Dixon. Long board. And Mo Miller. The toss ahead is intercepted by Dixon and rolls out of bounds to Kennesaw.
Only Dixon's speed saved that ball for Kennesaw State. I mean, he was 2 steps behind and caught up with the freshman down there inside, Jason Morris, who was going for a layup, but the ball knocked it off his body.
Ladarius Green holding against Miller. Kennesaw by 9. Lob inside, Cummings.
How about the pass by Green that time? He looked once, then looked away, and then looked back again, and Cummings is going, throw me the ball. And finally he did, and Cummings never brought it down. He stayed up with it and put it right off the glass. I always think that's a good sign of a player, you know, when you're able to catch the ball, find the basket, and get it off the glass without putting it on the floor, because once you put it down there, you're letting everybody get to it.
Cummings, a redshirt sophomore, was second team All-Atlantic Sun last year. Preseason, obviously, all-conference this year. And a marked man on that Georgia Tech scouting report. Layup short by Morris. Kennesaw's running. Another lob and a jam for Cummings.
How about that pass by McConnell?
Another run out. 3-on-2 Kennesaw. Dixon. Rebound to Green. Deflected and out to Kennesaw State. Oh, this is a thing of beauty right here.
Look at this. Perfect position. Pass right where he wants it. Flush it. Well, that was pretty. I'll tell you what, that when they run quickly down the floor. Tech having difficulty getting back on defense.
I'm telling you, keep these guys away from the track coach. 29-16 Kennesaw. Green drills it. That's a three. His first two threes of the season. 32-16.
Nice ball movement.
Oliver's pass taken away. It's a run out for Dixon.
Bob, they're getting nothing but layups and jams.
34-16. Another deflected pass. Another run out. Here comes Dixon. They are flat out going bananas at Kennesaw State.
Last 4 possessions have all been layups and a dunk. Simply running out on Georgia Tech. Kennesaw State getting the easy layups. Nice defensive play right there. Miller slapping the ball away, and Dixon finishing it up again.
Number 5, Spencer Dixon, Jr. out of Kennesaw Mountain High School in Marietta. And these Kennesaw State fans are loving life. There's a bunch of happy humans right there on that baseline.
An 11-0 run on the part of Kennesaw State. There's a dejected man right there.
He said to us before the game, he said, you know, I scheduled this game, took this series, and then when I got off the bus tonight, I said, what was I thinking? Well, boy, Kennesaw State has turned it on here in these last couple of minutes. Udovia. Lafon puts it up. No good. Tipped up and in. And I think they'll give that one to Holsey.
Glen Rice, Jr.
(36-18).
Kennesaw State spreading the floor now, letting Dixon operate out front until they get something set up inside.
Cummings cut off by Shumpert. Shot clock now dips under 10. Here's McConnell, and he carried it.
And for the OWL, number 23, Mira Savic.
Here's a timeout call now with 3:35 to play. The Owls flapping their wings at Kennesaw, 36-18. Back at Kennesaw, 36-18. Owls lead Georgia Tech with 3:35 to go in the first half. Let's take a look at our AT&T ACC scores. And several clubs in action on this Monday night. Virginia looking for another win as they take on USC Upstate. Also Wake Forest trying to get that win column, leading Hampton. And Clemson, new head coach Brad Barnell, 1-0, and leading Wofford in the second half. Miami plays a midnight Eastern time game, 11 in Memphis.
Better have the coffee ready.
Yes. A late night on Beale Street.
I've had a few of those.
Wasn't going to go there. Pass inside, a slap down by Cummings.
Kennesaw State foul.
That is the 7th team foul. So Georgia Tech and Iman Shumpert going to the line.
You know, Bob, one of the things that's really helped Kennesaw State is the distribution of points. Cummings with 8, Dixon with 9, and Green with 9. Really helps their offense. I mean, now you can't concentrate on one particular player. Georgia Tech really focused their defense down on Cummings underneath, and in some ways it's hurt them because everybody else has been able to pick up their game.
Last year these clubs played on the flats, and Georgia Tech won 80-55, and in that game Kennesaw made just 5 3-pointers in 21 attempts. Different story on their home floor.
Favors, Lawal, and Peacock all gone now. All had good games last year against Kennesaw State.
Anderson plays. Here's McConnell backing it out. 3:10 to play first half. 36-20 Kennesaw. Owls with the lead, content to burn some shot clock. Seven, 6 to shoot. Green takes a 3 at the end of the clock. Rebound Cummings. Boy, just used his strength to muscle it up.
The Owl is a bull.
Here is Shumpert. Missed the jam, but he got fouled.
What a great move.
Boy, that's the aggression and the assertiveness that Tech wants to see out of Shumpert.
Bob, do you see how quickly he maneuvered with that basketball? He got it on the floor, one dribble, and he was at the top speed, heading for the rim. Look at that, boy. He had Anderson. He just left him flat-footed.
And Shumpert now starting to pick up some points at the foul line. He's got 7. Oak Park, Illinois. Outside Chicago. 2 free throws. And Georgia Tech cuts it back to 16. They were down by as many as 20. McConnell brings it up against Rice. .2:15 left in the half.
It's amazing how they run this shot clock after running them down the floor on those runouts. Now they're content to play a little clock. They want Cummings if they can get it to him.
McConnell banks it in. Oh, it's your night, Kelvin. The runner is good by Holsey.
Number 24.
Holsey, another good-looking freshman. Medical redshirt last year, had surgery on a torn ACL.
41-24, Kennesaw State.
Interesting strategy by Tony Engle here. As quickly as this club's been getting down the floor, for them to put the pressure on this Georgia Tech defense by holding the ball, it puts even more pressure on their defense to try to come and get the ball.
Loose ball. Shot clock expires. Georgia Tech will get it. (41-24) Kennesaw State. And Paul Hewitt's club had struggled mightily with its shot at home on Friday night against Charleston Southern. Only 24 first-half markers here. Oliver kicks it out. Udofia for three. No good. Rebound Rice. And Glen Rice with his second field goal.
Good positioning by Rice that time.
1 minute left in the first half.
41-26 Kennesaw State.
Tell you, for a 6'9" guy, Green handles the ball pretty well.
Shumpert missing, out of bounds to Georgia Tech. 45 seconds left in the half. We'll be speaking with Kennesaw State Dr. Dan Papp coming up here at halftime.
I understand he used to be a teacher at Georgia Tech.
Yes, he did. Shumpert. Open look. Couldn't connect. Rebound foul on Georgia Tech, and this one's on Brian Oliver. That'll be his second. That's just the 14th foul on the Jackets.
They got a couple of fouls to give here if they won.
Back at the ball game is Cam Holsey. Oliver heads out. Poked away by Udofia.
I tell you, he is so quick down there. Hard to get away from any. Even McConnell, who's pretty quick in his own right, can't shake Udofia.
Entry pass, tight rope on that sideline, and a travel against Green.
In for Georgia Tech, number 11, Brian Oliver.
The best thing that Tech has going for them right now against Kennesaw State is that full court pressure.
It has generated most of the 10 Kennesaw turnovers.
Half-court trap by Kennesaw State right now. Now they've gone back to the man-to-man. Tony Ingle giving them a little bit different look almost every possession, almost every dribble.
41-26 Kennesaw, 10-9. 8 seconds, shot clock dark. Here is Shumpert, and we've got an offensive foul on the Jackets. Off the ball. This one is on Glen Rice.
Georgia Tech foul on number 41, Glen Rice Jr., his first team's fifth.
Now Kennesaw already up 15.
14.
They've got a chance to add to that lead if they can negotiate the Jackets' full court pressure. 5.8 left in the half. They put the ball in Cummings' hands. Markeith gets it all the way to the hole and lost it. And that will be the end of the half. The Owls of Kennesaw State using a tremendous fast break offense and getting double digits from Markeith Cummings take a double-digit lead to the locker room at halftime. Kennesaw State 41 and Georgia Tech 26. Bob Rathman, Larry Conley back with you at Kennesaw State. 41-26 as we start the second half, and certainly Georgia Tech has got to make some adjustments.
And Bob, the first thing they've got to do is they've got to start scoring quickly. They need about 3 or 4 quick baskets right now for Paul Hewitt's club. The defense has been okay. It really has. The only problem they've had defensively is not getting back against that break that Kennesaw State has thrown at them.
Yellow Jackets basketball to start the second half, and Iman Shumpert puts it on the deck, into the alley, gets fouled. And that will be the 4th on Andrew Osman. Take a look at the leading scorers in that first half. Markeith Cummings had 10. Shumpert with 8 to lead the Jackets. And now Shumpert has a chance to add to that total. And Tony Ingle's going to go to his bench to get Brandon Dawson. Shumpert with his 9th point. Dawson is a freshman out of Tucker High School in Atlanta. And Osman out of Grayson High School in Loganville has to sit down. 4 personals.
That will hurt them. Dawson with very little experience. Obviously, they've only played one game. The freshman getting kind of baptism right here.
41-28. Spencer Dixon against Udofia as the second half is underway. Anderson plays it back out front to Dixon.
They've got Shumpert now on Cummings down underneath.
This is that matchup. Markeith lost his balance on the drop step and travel.
You know, Cummings will have some problems with Shumpert. He's got a little bit of weight on him. Shumpert checks in at about 210, and he's a little bit quicker than Cummings.
Now I believe the clocks are out of sync.
JB walks like an old football player, doesn't he?
He can flat take care of business on that court.
He has one of those scowls even players will just shun.
Now the shot clock adjusted to 32 seconds. Game clock at 19:32 as Shumpert gets set to play it in. Packed house. KSU Convocation Center. This building erected in 2005. Kennesaw State, the third largest public institution for higher learning in the state of Georgia. Out of the corner, Oliver makes the three. Got the friendly roll.
Shumpert with a nice move to start the second half, and Oliver with a three-point field goal. That is good news for Georgia Tech.
Jackets within 10. Overplay steal by Rice. Takes it up and slams it.
That defense coming to the forefront again, Bob. Good overplay that time by Rice.
Georgia Tech at 1 point trailed by 20. Now it's an 8-point game. Dixon out to Green. Missed the three. And the rebound out of bounds to Kennesaw.
Good battle inside by Cummings and Miller that time.
Anderson. Tip. Nicely done. Ladarius Green.
Yeah, nice follow by Green.
Back to a 10-point spread. Rice tricky dribbles and throws it away. Paul Hewitt's Jackets. Trying to mount a comeback here on the road.
You know, oftentimes when you send your club in at halftime and you're trailing as much as Tech was in that first half, you wonder what the coach is saying to the players. I think oftentimes in a situation like this, Paul Hewitt says, look, we're doing the right things on the defensive end. All we've got to do is get our offense going.
Right, takes it to the hole. Dawson with his first hoop. 45-33. Shumpert, an open look, and buries it.
Yeah, he's starting to get in rhythm now.
Number 1, Shumpert.
If he and Oliver can pick the offense up in this second half, a little free Miller, Rice, Udofia to maybe do a couple of things on their own too, but they need Oliver and Shumpert to lead the way in this second half.
Dixon trying to get around Rice. Back pedals for three. Bullseye.
I mean, how hard a shot is that? Rice did everything he could possibly do defensively. He had a hand in his face, and he still got it up and got it in.
A half a foot taller with a great wingspan and a steal by Cummings. Takes it up and out. Out of bounds to Georgia Tech.
That would have brought the house down.
Number 24,
Look at that fade out. I mean, Rice did everything he could possibly do defensively that time, and he still got it up. Cummings with the missed dunk right here.
Oh, a little George McGinnis.
Yeah,
taking it to the hole.
Yeah. Ooh, you're going back in the archives there.
48-35.
Nice move.
Rice got it in.
Boy, that was pretty.
8 points for Glen Rice.
Rice, Oliver, and Shumpert now showing some offensive momentum, starting to come out of their shells.
Dixon on the handoff, backs it out. 4 minutes into the second half. Kennesaw by 11. Cummings. Rebound, Georgia Tech. Again, Shumpert. Iman. Good defense that time by Dawson. Cummings leaves it. Dixon backs it out, sets it up. Kennesaw State, Larry, has been able to keep Georgia Tech at arm's length.
Well, Udothia with a nice rebound and kick out.
And that's a three-pointer by Brian Oliver.
Yeah, Tech's beginning to heat up their offense now.
48-40. Now Dixon's in trouble and has to take the timeout.
Oh, he got a foul before the timeout. Rice reached in just before he called the timeout. Is he going to take the timeout?
It's an automatic timeout anyway. But yeah, the foul is charged to Glen Rice. Wow, how about that turn of events? 48-40 now, Kennesaw. Back at Kennesaw, let's check out our Charlie's fans of the game. .14:05 to go, and I'm a big fan of the guy sitting next to me. Larry Conley begins tonight his 38th season of calling college basketball games on television. A remarkable streak of quality and longevity, and we salute you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'll tell Mr. Naismith when I see him, since I started with him.
48-42, Kennesaw, and Shumpert with the reach in. Georgia Tech has also limited the Kennesaw running game with their good shooting. Hard to run when you take the ball out of the net.
It is. It's a good combination. When you put the ball in the net and defensively you can rearrange yourself back there to not allow those guys to get those fast break points.
Markeith Cummings, the redshirt sophomore, back irons the first of two. He and Ladarius Green played for the late Georgia Sports Hall of Famer Russ Ellington at Beach High School. Russ Ellington, one of the icons of basketball in this state, as a high school and college coach, and later as the head coach of the Globetrotters for 12 years.
That'd be a great job.
122 countries Russ Ellington visited as the head coach.
How'd you like to have a basketball team that as you travel the world, all you do is make people smile?
And you win every game.
And you win every game.
Here's the out of bounds call. And the Jackets have it. 22 on the shot clock. Shumpert. Foul. And Anderson guilty of his second. So back to the line goes Shumpert.
You know, Anderson's been a little quiet. He was pretty strong and forceful in the first 10 minutes of the game, but the last 10 minutes of that first half and the start of the second half, we haven't heard much from him. We've heard a lot from the guy on the free throw line right now.
Shumpert is 10 of 10. Just 2 of 6 from the field in the first half. And there's his first miss to keep it a 7-point game. 13:37 left.
I know I said this once before, but I'll say it again. This is the guy that really needs to lead this Georgia Tech squad. I mean, he's the junior. He needs to stand up. He's also capable. I mean, he's very talented and skilled in his game. Just needs to get these other guys going.
Markeith Cummings picks up his dribble. And now Spencer Dixon comes flying down the floor. Here's Anderson.
Well, Tech doing a nice job of just putting pressure on, even though they don't get the steal. Kennesaw State knows that they're there. Now, that's a bad reach in right there.
Mo Miller, the guilty party, his second. Third team foul. This is very reminiscent of a road game Tech played in the A-Sun a couple of years ago in Macon against Mercer. They were down 18 at the half. They came roaring back, tied it, and sent it into overtime and won the game. They were down 20 here in Kennesaw tonight. They've cut it to 6, but starting to close that Kennesaw offense down, at least in the half court. Kennesaw hasn't had the chance to run like they did in the first half.
I tell you, Kennesaw State starting to stand around on offense.
Oh, and a tough miss by Cummings. Mo Miller now. Blocked and out of bounds.
You know, oftentimes when you start to put pressure on a team, Bob, they end up standing around. But watch this maneuver right here. Nice defensive play right there and a good recovery by Green.
Rice goes over the back. That was our auto owner's defensive coverage of the game. And Glen Rice Jr. just picked up his third foul.
Speaking of old timers, his dad was a great old timer. Boy, could he play.
I guess so. Glen Rice had a terrific stint, of course, at Michigan, their all-time leading scorer, and still holds the NCAA tournament record for most points in one tournament.
Pretty good NBA career, too.
Yeah, long one, too. 15 years.
He was around with the Lakers when they won the NBA championship in 2000.
A lob to Anderson, and a foul. He was pushed off the play. That's a shooting foul, so 2 free throws for Aaron Anderson.
I'm not sure they're going to give him a shot on this. They may say he was pushed before he got the ball. Yeah, they're going to say it's out of bounds. Yeah.
Brent Williamson immediately signaled 2 free throws. And everybody was lining up. Now Tony Engel wants to know why. And Mike Nance explains. Fresh clock. And a foul on Georgia Tech as Cummings skied in to get the miss from McConnell.
Let's take a look at it again down inside. Nice block out in there offensively to go back and get that basketball. And once he got it, I'm not sure who committed the foul there. Who did they give it to?
They gave it to Oliver, his third. But more importantly, the team foul situation, Larry, that's 6 on Georgia Tech. Kennesaw is going to be shooting the rest of the night. And we've got 12:47 to play. Dixon.
Well, that one hurt Tech. Kennesaw State needed that in the worst way.
The lead back to 9. Here's Udopia. Travel.
Udopia is complaining, saying, I had my pivot foot down. The referee said, nope, you moved it.
McConnell. Now it's Cummings. Dixon, nice pass. A block and a foul.
Well, they have really put the pressure on Tech in the last couple of possessions and made them come and do something defensively. And Tech is committing fouls and sending Kennesaw State to the line.
A timeout at Kennesaw. Spencer Dixon with 3. Kennesaw by 9.
continues to lead against Georgia Tech 52-43. I want to take you back and show you a good penetration move right here by Spencer Dixon. Now, once he receives the ball on the wing, watch the maneuver down inside. Here he is with the ball. Now watch him go into the lane, and then once he gets in the lane, watch the convergence of the Tech defense. Look what you've got. You've got all the defensive guys right there for Georgia Tech, but there's his target down in the corner. Nice pass, good finish, the foul, and a couple of free throws down in there for Ladarius Green.
Spencer Dixon has augmented the good passing with 15 points. He has hit 3 threes and a crucial 3 that we just showed you going to break. $12 points for Green. His career high is 16. Had 4 blocks in the Kennesaw State opening win. And again, Georgia Tech finds themselves down double digits. Georgia Tech 5 of 8 in the second half for 63%. Has raised the game percentage to 39. Shumpert.
Good rebound.
A block. We talked about Green. He got one here. Another chance for Tech. No doubt about this one on the dunk by Rice.
Good job by Tech to hang around down underneath and pick up an errant pass.
54-45. Here's Cummings. Tough shot. Rebound controlled by Holsey.
That was a runner running completely out of bounds.
Rice shovels it, and Udofia lays it in.
Boy, how about the pass by Glen Rice right there? Was that a nice job?
54-47.
Tech has come out of this timeout with a couple of very quick baskets, put some pressure on Kennesaw State. High pick and roll.
Dixon gets Rice in the switch and travels.
It's about the 3rd time that Kennesaw State's had that happen to them. Slip and go down on the floor and lose it with a traveling call.
Shot clock at 15. Oliver. Leaping leaner, no. Tip, no. And Anderson rips it out of there around 3 gold jerseys.
Big rebound right there.
Now McConnell.
Well, Tech was attacking that offensive glass, weren't they? They had 3 guys up there, and Anderson got in between all of them.
7th rebound for Aaron Anderson. 54-47. Ladarius Green. Cummings, turnover. Tech takes it away. Good overplay by Shumpert. Rice gets inside. Holsey, foul. The paint is no place for the timid right now.
Don't go through there with a picnic basket. You won't have time to sit down and eat. I'm going to tell you what, these guys are really hammering it down inside. Tech is really getting on that glass.
Second foul on Ladarius Green will send Cam Holsey to the foul line. Holsey 0 for 4 at the line in game 1. All-stater out of Hancock Central in Sparta, Georgia. As Larry mentioned, this is his first year of action after the knee injury. Redshirted him last year. 3rd point tonight. This is Jason Morris, another freshman from Augusta. And Holsey getting ready for the free throw. 54-48 Kennesaw. Georgia Tech trailed by 20. Now down 5. And a pressure on Kennesaw to execute against the tightening Georgia Tech defense. Dixon.
Oh, no, not again.
The three-ball bails him out again. Dixon matches his career high with 18. Rice throws it away.
I'll tell you what, he has had two daggers right in the heart of this Tech defense. Right when Kennesaw State needed him, he got two big baskets in this second half.
57-49 Kennesaw State. Near steal by Udofia. It's Dixon. Rimming Tip Anderson off the high glass.
Haven't mentioned his name very much in this second half, but that was a big tip in. Now it's back out to 10.
5 quick points by the Owls. Holsey, open corner jumper, no. Holsey, the offensive follow, no. Tip, no. Rebound, Kennesaw and Green.
You know, just when you think Tech's getting ready to pull back and get right into this thing, all of a sudden, Kennesaw State will do a couple of things to push that lead back out to double digits. The big shot by Dixon, and then the tip in by Anderson, and they're right back up by 10.
Nice crossover. Spencer Dixon now with 8. 7 on the shot clock as the game clock hits 8 minutes to go. Anderson lets it go. Short. Rebound Tech. Holsey. And he carries it. And with that, a timeout. 7:40 to play at Kennesaw State. Upset in the making in Georgia. Georgia Tech fans sensing distress here on the road, trailing 10 with 7:40 to play. Our Southeast Toyota trivia question and answer: who was the last Division I player before Chris Singleton did it yesterday to have a triple-double involving steals? And you know your hoop if you came up with Lester Hudson, way out there at Tennessee Martin, back in November of '07. Going on to play in the NBA, now in the D-League. Lester Hudson. I know, Mr. Conley, you were all over it.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, anybody that came up with that one, we should send them on a trip somewhere. Maybe to UT Martin.
$7:40 to play here, 59-49. And Kennesaw State with the basketball, more pressure by Tech. They've hit their shots, they've crashed the boards, but they just can't seem to wrestle the momentum away.
You know, Bob, while we were off air, I told you that I thought Georgia Tech the last 5 minutes has been absolutely terrific on that offensive glass. They put a lot of pressure on Kennesaw State defensively, but still that 10-point lead for the Owls.
4 fouls now on Brian Oliver. And Paul Hewitt will put Cam Holsey in.
Now they really suffer offensively with Oliver going out of that lineup and Holsey replacing him.
Oliver has scored 12 tonight, 2 threes here in this second half. And we mentioned the foul situation, 18 fouls, 1-1 for Green, and 14 fouls on the home team. And Kennesaw comes up with a loose basketball. Cummings. And it's out to the Owls. (59-49) Kennesaw.
We may have to put some pads and helmets on here in a minute.
Entry pass. Green will take it, miss it. Cummings had it ripped out of his hands from behind by Daniel Miller. Georgia Tech with a strong push. Holsey. A lot of contact, no whistle. Jackets get it back. Another loose ball. Shumpert goes down, and a foul on Kennesaw.
Like I said, break out the pads and helmets.
They want to start a football team here at Kennesaw State. This might be night one. The tryouts.
Cummings right there. Good call. He threw a block right into Shumpert.
Second on Cummings. 5 team fouls on Kennesaw State. 7:08 to play. 10-point game.
I'll tell you who's been the aggressor in the second half have been the Yellow Jackets. They're the ones that really are taking the fight to Kennesaw State, and yet they are not able to break down that 10-point deficit they've got right now. It's only because of some timely shooting on the part of Kennesaw State, in particular Spencer Dixon.
Georgia Tech has not had a field goal the last 4 minutes. They've gotten free throws here in the second half. 2 from Holsey, 5 from Shumpert.
Georgia Tech is now 15 of 18 from the free throw line. Kennesaw State is 4 of 6.
Kennesaw State does not have a fast break point in this second half, and now Rice with the shove. That's his 4th foul.
Georgia Tech foul. Number 41, Glen Rice Jr. That is his 4th. That is the team's 9th.
That's a tough call right there.
At the line for
I mean, it looked like he just touched him a little bit, but you know when you're on that baseline, if he gets any momentum or any push at all from anybody inbounds to go out of bounds, you can't say it's a force out. You got to call a foul.
Green hits the front end. 7 minutes remaining. Kennesaw State by 11.
Green's got a nice stroke, doesn't he, for a guy 6'9"? He moves around pretty well on the perimeter.
He was 4 of 6 at the line in their opening win. Shumpert. 3-pointer. Timeout, Yellow Jackets. Shumpert now with 18 to cut it to 9.
Timeout. Georgia Tech.
30-second timeout for the Jackets.
Fans, this Wednesday,
6:46 remaining in this second half, and our SunTrust solid performance of the game belongs to Spencer Dixon.
Dixon's done just about everything for Kennesaw State tonight. 50% from the field. He's got 18 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. And he has hit some big key 3-point shots in the second half to keep Georgia Tech at bay.
Overall, 18 points, 4 3-pointers, 3 here in the second half, 5 dimes. The junior from Kennesaw Mountain High School has been impressive. Kennesaw State, Larry, does not have a fast break point in the second half. They piled up 10 in that first half.
They used up their allotment in the first half, I think.
Pressure by the Jackets. And here comes Dixon.
You know, one of the things Paul Hewitt has done well tonight is that he's alternated Miller and Udolphia on Dixon, but it really hasn't slowed him down.
Cummings has scored only 1 point in this second half for Kennesaw State. Green comes to screen. Not much happening on this set. The drive and knocked away. No, it's out of bounds to Georgia Tech.
Well, Dixon did a nice job of threading that screen right there, and he went right between the Georgia Tech defenders, but he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Mo Miller met at mid-floor. Shumpert, a 3, no good. Rice, his superior length, got him that rebound. And
Kelvin Mcconnell. That's his first. That is the team's 6th.
6th team foul. Georgia Tech goes to the 1-and-1 next. Posey inside. Laying good.
Nice maneuver. He knew Green was there, who's a good shot blocker, and he went to one side and then faked and went up on the other side. That was a nice move.
61-54 again. Georgia Tech scratches back within 7.
Here comes that high pick and roll again. Kennesaw State has used that a lot here tonight, particularly in the second half.
McConnell driving. And it's tipped in by Green.
Shot came up short. Green right there. Very opportunistic move.
And the foul coming against Kennesaw State.
Let's go back and take a look at Ladarius Green, the 6'9" freshman or sophomore from Savannah, with a nice tip in right there.
The third foul on Ladarius Green sends Glen Rice Jr. to the foul line. He scored 10 tonight. But Georgia Tech comes up with the rebound. Loose ball out to mid-floor and Shumpert. 5:10 remaining. Shumpert, nice pass inside, and Halsey scores.
Tech getting the ball down inside now and getting some easy looks at the basket.
63-56. Long pass ahead to Cummings. Hits the brakes and saves it. Now out it comes to McConnell. Anderson drives and lays it in. They beat the press that time, and they figured out a way to get in the hole. And a turnover. Here comes Cummings.
He wasn't going to miss that one.
And just like that, the Owls go up 11. Shumpert. Green. It's out of bounds to Kennesaw State.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where Ladarius Green needs to give the ball up. You know, you got it, you're pinned in there, give the ball to the open man.
Kennesaw State 32nd timeout, 4:20 to play. And give the Owls credit, Larry Conley. They have been able to withstand the pressure, and they finally got a run out.
And Dixon got another assist. I'll tell you what, he's going to have. He is going to be a tired guy tonight when he goes in. They have worn him out. They've used 3 different people defending him coming up the floor, but for the most part, not always, but for the most part, he's been able to take care of the ball. He has turned it over several times tonight.
Points in the paint. Kennesaw State +4, 32-28. This has been changed to a full timeout for Kennesaw with 4:20 left. And look at Dixon. Well, you were right, Larry. He may be cramping a bit.
Well, he's had so many different defenders run at him. I mean, you know, he's probably wondering who's coming at me next. But I'll tell you the one thing. I mean, I'll say this: he has turned the ball over several times tonight. He's got 4 turnovers to go with 5 assists. But he's been the main guy getting the ball up the court.
Let's take a look at our AT&T ACC scores. All finals, Virginia wins by 20. Wake Forest gets in the win column as they knock off Hampton. And Gerard Grant had 13 points and 6 rebounds as Clemson held off Wofford 78-70. Miami-Memphis later tonight. In front of a record crowd of 4,784 at the Kennesaw State University Convocation Center on campus at KSU in Kennesaw, Georgia. Bob Rathman and Larry Conley with the story here as Kennesaw State hosting a team out of the ACC for the very first time and a chance to spring the upset. And look at that move by Dixon. Cross court, Cummings on the deck, in the lane, lays it up short, followed, good by Green.
Well, Green's had a couple of big offensive rebounds in the last couple of minutes.
19 points and 10 rebounds for Green.
And a block.
Goes back up, no good, tip no, rebound, Anderson, and he's fouled by Georgia Tech. And it's on Morris. Ladarius Green puts it home. Kennesaw by 13. With Larry Conley, Bob Rathman back at Kennesaw State, 69-56. And a chance for Aaron Anderson to add to the lead out of Mountain View High School in Mesa, Arizona. A high school that produced Mike Bibby. First to Arizona and then to a long NBA career. And Aaron Anderson.
He's still making shots, too.
Yes, he can do that. He can flat out do that, Mr. Conley. Georgia Tech got within 5 at 54-49. And Kennesaw got it cranked up again. They have not wilted in the face of all the defensive pressure. Anderson misses the first of 2, his first free throw opportunities of this game.
Big hill to climb right now for Georgia Tech.
And not a lot of time to waste. Shumpert.
Nice move.
Foul stops it at 3:36 and Shumpert to the line.
Bob, one of the things I've always liked about Shumpert ever since his freshman year is his ability to put the ball on the floor. He's so adept at using both hands and really the crossover dribble, the quick first step. He puts a lot of defenders on the defensive simply because of the way he handles his body and his footwork. He is very quick to the basket. Almost ambidextrous. I mean, he is so good with both hands. As a friend of mine used to call it, he's amphibious.
Oliver goes out. Shumpert had a big game at Carolina. Scored his career high 30 and did it on 17 shots. He can flat fill it up. Shumpert with 20. 70-58. And trapped in that corner. Look out. Foul.
How in the world did he hold that ball that long, not get tied up, and a foul occurs like 5 or 6 seconds after he's got it trapped there in the corner? Tech did the very smart thing by getting him in that position over there, and he was still able to covet the ball, take care of it, and draw the foul.
And if you count the sideline, it's a triple team. I mean, he flat had nowhere to go. And he ends up on the foul line. Spencer Dixon, first time to the line in this game. Dixon with 19 points, 6 assists. And Kennesaw State leading 71-58. Oliver, 3, off the mark. Udofia. Shumpert. Rice driving and scoring.
Nice. Very nice move.
Timeout, Georgia Tech.
Timeout, Georgia Tech. Fans, as a reminder, after the conclusion of this game,
Let's take a look now at our NASCAR Hall of Fame ACC preseason media poll. Duke starting its season with a big win over Princeton yesterday. That high-octane offense at Cameron will be hard to contain this season.
Yeah, and probably a lot of you out there who are not ACC basketball fans are wondering about that team that is sandwiched in between Duke and North Carolina right now. Virginia Tech has got a solid basketball team coming back. Got all their starters returning. They may have the best guard in the league in Malcolm Delaney. He is absolutely incredible. Hard to stop him when he's got the ball.
And an improved team for Sidney Lowe at NC State.
Florida State's going to be in the thick of this too. If North Carolina can get any guard play, and I know you saw them Friday night, if they can get some good guard play with all of the good size they have in there, they keep those three guys healthy in there, they got a chance to really come back, not only win this title, but I think challenge for the national title.
An improved ball club, to be sure, in Chapel Hill. It was a long year for Roy Williams and the Tar Heels, and they couldn't wait to get the new season started.
Yeah, they're not used to that in Chapel Hill.
3:07 remaining. Dixon. Challenged by Rice out front. Cummings.
Use the clock. The clock is your friend right now when you're up by 12.
Eight, 7. Dixon.
Is he on the mark tonight? I mean, make me a three. Okay. Three big threes in the second half.
His 5th of the night. Anderson, outlets. Now it's Dixon with it again.
Anderson with 10 rebounds tonight, Bob.
That's 2 on the front line. Green and Anderson double-digit rebounds. 2 minutes to play. 75-60 Owls. Off the glass, he'll shoot 2. Spencer Dixon.
You know, Bob, unless something catastrophic happens here, Kennesaw State is going to pick up a win against an ACC school. And Tony Ingle right there, who took this club to the Division II National Championship in 2004, building a Division I program. And you and I both know what a difficult leap it is to go from Division II to Division I. Here they are in their 6th year. He's shaking his head right now. He's probably wondering, how did I get here? Simply because he is a dedicated, passionate guy. As I said earlier, maybe one of the funniest guys I've ever been around. But boy, does he really take care of his program and his players.
This is Tony Ingle's 11th season at Kennesaw State. The 2004 championship was the springboard into Division I. And I don't think, Larry, they could ask for a better leader of this basketball program than Tony Ingle. 76-60. Rice hits a 3.
Good kick out pass by Miller that time to Rice.
Minute 30 to play. Cummings holds it. Tech's out of timeouts. Dixon dances around with Rice on him. Motors to the middle. And Shumpert fouled him.
Georgia Tech foul number 1, Iman.
1:14 to play.
At the line for your
And Spencer Dixon goes back to the line.
Number 5, Spencer Dixon.
24 points. Blowing his career high out of the water. 6 assists on a night that these 4,700 plus at Kennesaw and Kennesaw State fans watching tonight will never forget.
Biggest athletic event they have held on this campus since this school has been here. And they're going to pick up a big win. For Paul Hewitt and his club, it's back to the drawing board. You know, I thought their defensive effort tonight was really stellar. Their offense is where it really let them down.
Arrow to Kennesaw. 70 seconds left. Tony Ingles' squad joined Division I in 2005. They'd gone 0-7 against the Power 6 clubs, but of course all 7 of those games on the road. Georgia Tech coming up I-75, some 30 miles from downtown Atlanta. And the Owls were ready for them, 77-63. And Miller fouls with 108.
You know, Bob, I was talking earlier about going from a Division II program to a Division I. It encompasses so many things, and one of them obviously is budgeting concerns. I mean, you've got to be able to jump your budget up considerably, which this school has committed to do for their basketball program and all their other sports to get into that Division I level. And the quality of your players, you need to step up your players. I mean, you've been used to a Division II program and playing with players at that level. Now all of a sudden you recruit better players. You've got to go after bigger, stronger, quicker players. Perhaps players that you didn't even look at when you were in the Division II because you didn't think you could recruit them. Now you have to.
.27 for Spencer Dixon. 79-63.
1 minute remaining.
Poked away and stolen. McConnell. And now we've got a foul on Shumpert. 45 seconds left. And the Kennesaw State fans howling. Shumpert fouls out.
You know, when I think about this game later tonight, I'm going to think about the number of times Georgia Tech made runs at Kennesaw State. And they got it down to 5, they got it to 6 3 times in the second half. And they weren't able to get over the mountain. And it was those threes a couple of times, simply the shooting of Spencer Dixon that just killed Georgia Tech.
And that would be the Kennesaw Mountain. 79-63, 45 seconds left, and Kelvin Mcconnell, the senior from Smyrna who came from walk-on as a freshman to team captain and scholarship player as a senior, has a chance to add to the point total. This is his 93rd game played in a Kennesaw State uniform. And the facial expressions tell the entire story. A rejection by Green. Seconds left. Spencer Dixon begins the celebration, dribbling out the clock. And Kennesaw State delights its fans, its campus, and its community with a tremendous upset of Georgia Tech. more coverage coming from Kennesaw State. We hope to be speaking with the stars of the game, head coach Tony Ingle. Our coverage continues in just a moment. Stay with us. It's Kennesaw State with the win by 17 over Georgia Tech. The celebration continues at Kennesaw State. They knock off Georgia Tech 80-63. Here's Larry with head coach Tony Ingle.
Thank you, Bob. Well, the celebration has begun. Tony, the very first question I've got to ask you, as a cliche, but how does it feel?
Well, it feels unbelievable. The team, I told the team, we're not just playing for each other here. We're playing for Kennesaw State University. We're playing for the alumni, boosters, anyone that's ever worn a jersey. This is a big game for us, big program builder. We need to let people know about our institution, academics, our basketball, and the guys, you saw it, Larry. I mean, they played their hearts out.
In the preparation for this game, there are probably several things that you looked at that you felt like you had an advantage over Georgia Tech. What were those?
Well, I didn't know, but I wanted to see, but I felt like that we had heart. And when you got heart, you don't always have to have a lead, you know, but we had the lead, and we maintained it. Spencer Dixon stepped up big, and then Aaron Anderson, and whatever we needed. You know, I mean, it was just a team effort, and, you know, the crowd was phenomenal, and it really helped us win the game tonight.
Bob and I were commenting about the first half, about how many easy fast break baskets you got. You didn't get any in the second half, but the first half you had all you wanted. In the second half, you went more to a half-court game.
Well, the thing is, we don't have a whole lot of depth. We're building the depth. We got good athletes, good kids, but to go against ACC caliber quickness and size and strength, and I just told the guys, and they had enough maturity to understand that we did one thing, and that was good, but now it's a different game. And you know, I mean, you have to be, I told them, you can't just play being tough. You got to be smart as well. And they was able to be smart, able to make the foul shots. And it was a great win for us.
Tony, congratulations. Celebrate, enjoy it, because you got another one right behind it.
That's exactly right. Thank you very much.
Bob.
Okay, Larry, thank you. Congratulations to Coach Ingle. Now, fans, let's take a look at our Geico play of the game. And we focus in on Markeith Cummings, their all-conference performer, who came up with a wonderful jam on this lob. Indeed, our Geico play of the game. Cummings played the entire game, never came out, had 13 points, and shot 6 of 13 from the field. And in a moment, we are going to be hearing from Larry with the star of the game overall, Spencer Dixon, who was absolutely unbelievable. Spencer Dixon tonight played 33 minutes and scored 27 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. An amazing night, and he's standing by with Larry.
Bob, thank you. Spencer, an absolutely phenomenal night. You had 27 points tonight, but I think the thing that impressed me more than anything was all the people that Tech kept running at you defensively, and yet you were still able to handle the basketball. What is it about the way you play in that full court game that makes you able to get up and down the floor like that?
I'm kind of quick, so in my first 2 years, I was kind of struggling with the pressure. And I think it was just time for me to grow up and handle the pressure. So I tried to do that best I could.
You knew this was going to be a tough game coming in because this is an ACC crowd that you're playing against. This Tech team is very good. What was it tonight that got you guys so inspired to play against this Georgia Tech team?
Coach Ingle just been telling us all week that we can beat them, that we know we can beat them. We got to know it. And I think everybody on the team came with their mindset ready to beat them, and that's what we did.
In the first half, you got a lot of fast break baskets. I asked Coach Ingle about that. In the second half, you went more to your half-court game, and you stuck the dagger in them 3 times with those threes.
Well, Coach Ingle had to put the confidence in me, so I feel like if Coach believes in me, why not believe in myself? So I just go out there on the guard and just let him take it from there. So,
Spencer, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Congratulations to Spencer Dixon and Kennesaw State as they knock off the Jackets by 17. We'll be back. We are back at Kennesaw State, the Convocation Center, rocking as Kennesaw State knocks off Georgia Tech 80-63. There's a lot of fans still left in the building. They don't want to leave. You blame them?
Not at all. What an effort it was for Kennesaw State. I mean, when they jumped out to that 7-0 lead, you almost felt like that they were going to have a good night, and it was. But it wasn't easy. I mean, Tech came back at them a couple of times, 3 times in that second half, but they were not to beat at 9 tonight. This was a great effort on the part of Tony Ingles' club.
Kennesaw State final shooting numbers 47%, Tech at 35%. They really cooled off in that second half. 37%. They were around 60% for the first half of that second half.
Yeah, I give Tech a lot of credit with their defense, but boy, they just can't get it going offensively. They have really struggled with their shooting.
They have had a rough go of it. Now both this club is 1-1. Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State with the biggest win in school history, arguably. Certainly at the Division I level, 80-63 as they knock off the Yellow Jackets. That's our final score tonight from Kennesaw State University. Heck of a ball game. Congratulations to the Owls. For Larry Conley and our terrific crew, this is Bob Rathman saying so long from Kennesaw, Georgia.